Hello, Windows Analysis. We explore the Windows universe, performance, hidden settings, history, hacks, and updates. If you're the kind of person who loves getting the absolute most out of your system, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into the mysterious heart of the machine, the Windows Registry. For 30 years, it's been the operating system's brain, but there's this one crucial question that just hangs over it. Is it still a critical piece of the puzzle? Or has it become this dusty old relic that's just slowing us down? This is the very question that has fueled entire industries and probably a million online forum arguments. You've heard the story, right? That over time, your registry just fills up with all this digital junk that clogs up your system. It's one of the most persistent urban legends in all of computing. So today, we're going to lay all the cards on the table. We're going to bust some myths and find out what the registry really is. Okay, so to really get what we have today, we have to travel back in time a bit. You see, the registry didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was the solution, the necessary solution to a very, very real problem in the early days of Windows. Before the registry, it was basically the Wild West of configuration files. We had hundreds of these little plain text files called .ini files, and they were scattered all over the hard drive. It was, and I mean this, pure chaos. The difference was like night and day. The old INI files were so fragile. They could only store simple text, security was basically all or nothing, and they could get corrupted so easily if two programs tried to write to them at the same time. For a serious operating system like Windows NT, which was built for stability and security, this chaotic system was a total non-starter. It needed order, and the registry was the answer, a centralized, robust, and secure solution. All right, so we know why it was created, but now we get to the million-dollar question about performance. And to understand that, we need to look at what the registry physically is and how it actually works. The answer, believe me, might surprise you. So, first things first, let's bust the biggest myth of them all. Is the registry just one single gigantic file that gets bigger and bigger until your computer grinds to a halt? No, not at all. Instead, it's a collection of these really smart modular files called Hives. Just think of them like separate binders for different topics. Your main system settings are in one binder, and then each user's personal settings are in their own binder, like the famous ntuser.file. This modular design is the real secret to its efficiency. Now, here is the absolutely critical part. When your computer starts up, Windows grabs these Hives from your slow hard drive or SSD and loads them directly into your superfast system RAM. What this means is that Windows isn't constantly having to dig through your disk to find settings. Everything it needs is right there, available instantly. And that's the crucial point right there. The registry acts like a modern index database that's running in memory. The system doesn't read through millions of entries one by one like some kind of endless shopping list. No, it uses an index to jump directly to the data it needs. And what about those famous orphaned keys from uninstalled programs? Well, they're just dormant data, taking up a tiny bit of space. They aren't being read, they don't use up any CPU, they literally do nothing. So if registry bloat isn't the real problem, then what is slowing down your system? Well, the true culprits are often hiding in plain sight. And this really gets to the heart of the whole myth. An entire industry was built on selling you a solution for a problem that has almost zero impact on modern systems. In fact, these cleaner programs are often straight up dangerous, deleting important keys and causing way more problems than they could ever solve. The real issues are things you see every day, like an antivirus that's way too aggressive, scanning every single little registry read and write, or having a huge number of programs that all try to launch the second Windows starts. Or, that right-click context menu that takes forever to appear because it's loaded with 50 different extensions. The problem isn't the registry's size, it's how programs use, or let's be honest, abuse it. But here's the thing, the registry is so much more than just a place to store settings. Over the years, it's evolved into this silent guardian, protecting the stability and security of your entire system with some incredibly clever tricks up its sleeve. Just look at this. It's a masterpiece of engineering. Atomic transactions. Imagine a program is installing, and boom, the power goes out or your system crashes. Without this protection, you'd be left with a corrupt, half-finished mess. But with the transactional registry, Windows is smart enough to see the operation didn't complete, and it automatically undoes every single change. It's basically life insurance for your system's stability. And check this out, Another stroke of genius, this time for compatibility. So what happens when some old program from the Windows XP days tries to write data to a protected part of the registry? Well, instead of just blocking it and throwing up an error, Windows cleverly tricks it. It redirects that write operation to a safe virtual folder that's specific to that user. The app thinks it wrote exactly where it wanted, you see no error, and the core system stays completely protected. It's a brilliant move that lets decades-old software keep on running today. So, you see, far from being a relic, the registry is still, to this day, the control panel for the Windows kernel itself. It's the place where the most powerful, most advanced features of the operating system are turned on and configured. Need some proof? We'll look no further than the upcoming Windows Server 2025. It's got this brand new ultra-fast storage engine designed for modern drives, but it's actually disabled by default. So how do you unlock this massive performance boost? You guessed it, with a single change to one key in the registry. Just one little line that tells the kernel, hey, from now on, use this new high-performance engine. And the results? They're spectacular. We're talking about a potential increase in input-output operations per second of up to 80%. This isn't some small tweak. This is a giant leap in performance, and it's all controlled from the registry. So let's circle all the way back to our original question. Obsolete or indispensable? I think after everything we've seen, the verdict is pretty clear. The Windows Registry is not a dusty old relic. It is, and it remains, the central nervous system of the entire operating system. It's complex, sure, and sometimes it's a little hard to understand, but it is absolutely indispensable for stability, for security, and, as we just saw, even for the performance of the future. So the next time you hear someone talking about cleaning the registry to make their PC faster, you'll know the truth, that the reality is so much more interesting than the myth. So let me know in the comments, what other computer myths do you think we should tackle next? And that's it for today's analysis. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a like, and a comment. Enjoy tinkering, and we'll see you in the next Windows analysis video.